Hey everybody, I thought I would chat with you guys and gals a little bit today about really just training basics, because this is something that doesn't get said enough. And when I say this, I am absolutely not against certain machines, definitely not against dumbbells. I think dumbbells are phenomenal. I think they're a great tool, particularly for the upper body, like for bodybuilding purposes, just overall hypertrophy and aesthetics. I think dumbbells actually bring a lot to the table. So when I make these statements, I am not saying this stuff isn't good or doesn't have its uses. But when we're in an environment of, say, limited equipment, what people need to remember, barbell movements and weighted bodyweight exercises absolutely can build your foundation, right? There's not a single muscle in the body that you cannot build effectively using those two tools. I mean, some people would say even just the barbell alone, with a proper rack and benches and things, can build everything. But I think when we have access to body weight stuff too, because look, if you got a rack, you got a bar to hang from, right? You'll see me in this video doing weighted pull-ups. You'll see me doing hanging leg raises, hanging from the bar. These sort of movements, they bring a lot to the table also. So what I'm trying to say here is that people can build a tremendous size, strength, physique base, all of this stuff using these. Okay, using just these tools, if that's all you have access to. Granted, most people these days still go to a commercial gym of some type, in which case you do have the other tools. And I'm not going to say not to use tools if you have them available and they're right fit for what you're doing, by all means. Again, particularly some of the muscles of the upper body, the smaller muscles, those dumbbells really can bring a lot of independent movement. Right? Sometimes they can add some range of motion. So again, I want to be clear, they're valuable tools that I use, that I program for clients. But when it comes to just your base building, look at what all you can do with just barbell and weighted bodyweight exercises. So what you see me doing throughout this video, I just do 5 exercises in which you guys will be watching. You'll see me doing some conventional deadlifts, doing some incline bench, weighted pull-ups, barbell curls, and then hanging leg raises. Okay, I mean those exercises alone. Think about how many muscles are being developed with those, right? Just with those movements, right? There's even arm work in there. And yes, you can do biceps, triceps, delts, and things with a barbell, or even with plates, right? So even if you don't have dumbbells or adjustable dumbbells at your house, you can just take the plates off of a barbell. Smaller plates, and you can do a lot of isolation movement with those things. Okay? They can replicate dumbbells. Particularly, I think, for things like side delts, rear delts, you can use just plates. But again, when you look at all these bigger exercises, the barbell really is king. And it works way better than other stuff. Like I'll see people say, well, I can do pistol squats. And it's like, I'm sorry, but I have never in my life met anyone who efficiently or effectively built big legs with pistol squats. It's a balancing exercise, not really that great, because you don't tend to fail because your quads and your glutes got overly fatigued. You fail usually because your balance gives out and you're fighting against that balance. And in that case, they don't work that well. A lunge, but a lunge can be done with a barbell. A split squat, all those things, those work a lot better than the pistol squats, because you're not trying to just balance up on one foot and stick the other leg out in front of you. But I mean, again, that's a perfect example of exactly what I'm saying. That these movements really, really bring a lot to the table. And you can develop your legs very well with a barbell. Deadlifts, Romanian deadlifts, good mornings, back squats, front squats, even split squats, right? All that stuff can be done with a barbell. And those are technically weighted bodyweight exercises. So that's kind of the funny thing. I said barbell and weighted bodyweight exercises, but isn't a squat both? All right? Squat's a bodyweight exercise already, just air squats. Well, you put a barbell on your back and it's now a weighted bodyweight exercise. Also happens to be a big barbell movement. All right? Same could be said for some of the other posterior chain stuff, although you're not going to get much weight on hip hinges that way. But other leg things, the same thing, split squats, lunges with a barbell. Okay, those are all kind of the same thing. Weighted body weight exercises and a barbell exercise. Okay, so you have all that. As far as even body weight stuff, even if you don't have a pull-up bar on your rack, which you should, could you make one? Yeah. If you had a nice tall rack, I mean, you can technically put a barbell up and the J hooks up higher. You can do pull-ups on that. You know, you have one that's set up well enough. Sure, you could do muscle ups, I guess, to get up to do dips. But I'm not a fan of that. I don't think it's safe or as effective as just using a barbell for chest stuff. But you know, body weight movements, pull-ups, chin-ups, hanging leg raises. Okay, those are phenomenal exercises that bring a lot to the table. I'm a big fan of the hanging leg raise. Okay, so this can all be included as well, right? And this is the stuff that builds your basics as far as other just barbell stuff: squat, bench, deadlift, other forms of chest presses and shoulder presses, you know, incline, overhead presses, right? Rows. Again, other easier exercises for the lower body that aren't a squat or a deadlift: split squats, good mornings, RDLs. Look, you can build all this stuff with a barbell. You know, same thing even for shoulders: overhead pressing, upright rows, everything. Curls are easy with it if you know how to do them. You can do tricep extensions, JM presses, closed grip benches. All that stuff can be done for triceps. All right? I mean, you really have almost everything you need. If you've got a loadable barbell and a rack and some adjustable stuff, you really can get really far. I mean, you could build extreme levels of size and strength. You know, maybe you won't have all the tools to optimize every angle of your aesthetics, and that's a valid point to be made. But even then, that's only if you're chasing every last bit of that. Like, you need to make sure that your rear delt or side delt is perfectly developed and so on. You know, so if you're trying to build a certain type of physique, okay, those other things absolutely have merit, and they can have their place for refinement, and they should have their place there for refinement. But you can always build your base off these other tools, you know, and if that's all you have access to for a while, there's no reason most people cannot have a phenomenal physique, a ridiculous amount of size, a ridiculous amount of strength using just these tools. Okay. Again, pointing out they bring so much to the table, you know, and it's funny because I get other people, they feel like this one machine is required, or this one piece of special equipment to get the best results because they've become the favorite. But it's just simply not true. Simply not true. They just like it. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.